Hey, it's Nico from Outdoors Anonymous. I'm about to leave on a 4-day elk and whitetail deer hunting trip. I have everything that I'm bringing laid out in a little pack dump over here in my garage. So first I'll show you guys kind of an overview of the pack dump over here, and then I'll break everything down into the different sections and open things up, and I'll show you guys what I have in each section. I like to have everything laid out like this when I'm preparing for a trip like this, just so that I can have everything organized in nice little neat sections, and I can have a checklist, and I can make sure that I'm not missing anything for when I get to the trip. But yeah, while I have everything laid out here in the garage, I thought, hey, I might as well film this. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys everything that I have that I'm bringing for this trip, and I'll also show you guys how I'm packing everything up in different storage containers. I've got totes and duffel bags and whatnot. I like to have everything packed up nice, neat in separate little sections so that everything is easy to get to, and I know where everything is whenever I need something. Say it's a piece of base camp equipment, I know which tote all the base camp gear is in. If it's a kitchen, I know exactly what tote or bag that is going to be in as well. So first I'll show you guys kind of an overview of the pack dump over here, and then I'll break everything down into the different sections and open things up, and I'll show you guys what I have in each section. Alright, so starting off with the section overview. Over here we've got the weapon sections. As you can see, I've got the bow, and I've also got a rifle case over here. I'm also bringing my .22. Back here is the kitchen section, so kitchen and food in this little area right over here. Back here we've got the base camp section, so tents, blinds, 20-liter water jug, everything in here in the base camp section. Hunting section, everything in this area here for the hunt itself, butchery of the animal, and personal effects, so clothing, jackets, etc. in this bag. In the middle section over here, I've got my electronics section. So as you guys can see, all my camera gear would be here. I'm obviously using my camera right now, but they would be here in this section as well. So those are the different sections that I have laid out here in my pack dump. I've got the bags and storage cases that all this stuff is going to pack into. You see the two totes right there, sorry, three totes, two 55-liter totes and one 80-liter tote. And then I've got two duffel bags, and I've also got my hunt pack over here, which right now is also empty. So by the end of this, I'll pack everything in to all the different bags and totes, and I'll show you guys where I'm packing everything and how I'm going to have everything organized. And at the end of this video, all this stuff is going to be put away nice and neat into all of these bags and storage containers. Alright, now that we've gone over the overview of everything that's out here in the different sections, we'll break each section down, and I'll show you guys exactly what I have with each different section. Alright, so starting off with the kitchen section over here, I have a butane stove. I picked this up at a Chinese grocery store. I love this thing. It works super well. It burns well, and the butane tanks last long. So easy to pack. It comes in a nice little case here as well, and it just takes these little butane canisters like this. So I'll bring two of these, which should last the 4 days. One might even last the 4 days I'm out there. I'm not going to be using it all the time. I've got my MREs over here. These are the Alpine Air MREs. I have beef stew, mushroom fettuccine alfredo, grilled chicken, quattro formaggi pasta right here. That sounds good. And Mexican style grilled chicken bowl. That one sounds pretty good too. And these MREs are actually pretty tasty. I don't know, what do you guys think about these? I've had them before, and I actually like them. On top of that, I've got a couple packs of just udon noodles and some dried Indonesian noodles right here too. I like my noodles, what can I say? And I've got a bunch of instant coffees right here as well. A thermos for the coffee and water also, of course. As for pots and pans, I've just got one boiling pot right here, so we can boil water on the butane stove for the noodles and the MREs, which is perfect. I got a frying pan as well, in case we get any small game, we can cook it up in here. And of course, if we get a deer or an elk down, obviously going to be frying up some tenderloins on this bad boy. And in this bag right here, I've got, my butane canisters here, cooking oil, paper towel, garbage bags, barbecue rub, Cabela's barbecue spice, and some wet wipes. And down here, obviously, we've got the cooler, which is empty right now, but we're going to ice that down, have some drinks in there as well, and whatever else that we need to keep cool. I know I'm packing light for food, and a lot of you guys might be thinking, why doesn't he bring more food? I don't know. Honestly, I only eat once a day, but we're going to be busy hunting for the most part anyways, so I think this is enough food for me for the 4 days. I'm not going to bother bringing eggs and meat and all that stuff. It's just going to be more of a hassle, more of a headache for me. I like to keep it as light as I can. That's why I'm bringing mostly packaged food. So MREs and these noodles, these are just fine. These work perfectly fine. They pack down smaller and they're easy to carry around. I don't have to keep any of these things refrigerated or anything. So it just makes everything lighter and a lot more convenient. But it depends on you, depends on what kind of food you might want to pack when you go on your trip. I like to keep it as light as I can. Now for the base camp section over here, obviously we need our sleeping bag. I use this hot core sleeping bag. Works really well, it's very comfortable. I've got a Cabela's brand 2 to 3 man tent over here, which is just fine for one person when you have all your gear inside the tent. I've got a self-inflating air mattress over here. So again, I like to pack very lightweight, as light as I can, but still keeping the bare minimum of staying comfortable. I've got my tripod, hunting chair, camp chair, base camp. Obviously you're going to need a lot of water. I've got 20 liters over here. As I mentioned, I'm going with 2 other guys and everybody's bringing a 20-liter jug of water. So we should have more than enough water for the 4 days that we're out there. I've also got the ground blind right here as well. We may or may not use it. We'll see. Maybe we can pop it up at camp and put stuff inside to keep them dry, because I think it's going to be raining one of the days while we're out there. So that might be handy. Or we might be able to haul that out and set it up in a spot where we're hunting. Maybe set it up on a nice little hot trail that we find. If we can find some good sign out on a trail, we'll set up the ground blind out there, sit in the blind and hunt from the blind. Might as well bring it though, never hurts. And right here, I've got 2 tarps in here and just a bunch of rope, bunch of twine, just all assorted in here. I'm not going to bother unpacking this. It's just all rope and twine in there, because you never know what you might need. Rope, twine, and obviously a tarp tie on top of the tent or some other stuff to keep it dry, because like I said, it looks like it's supposed to be raining 1 or the 2 days that we're out there. In this bag here, I've got all of my personal effects. So open this up real quick for you guys. Oh yeah, and Thermacell with a couple of refills in here, obviously. Keep those mosquitoes away. I've got my hunting jacket right here. All the clothing that I brought are camos, so I've got 2 pairs of 1 pattern of camo for everything, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shirts, 2 pairs of long sleeves, and then on the other pattern I've got 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shirts, 2 pairs of long sleeves, and then I've got my thicker jacket here in case it gets cold, which I don't think it's going to get that cold, but you never know, and it never hurts to bring it. On top of that, I've got obviously socks, wool socks. Wool socks are the way to go. I've got 4 pairs of wool socks in here, underwear 4 pairs obviously, and just casual, 1 pair of casual clothes for just being around camp as well. But yeah, wool socks, guys. Wool socks are so much more comfortable than cotton socks, and they tend to keep your feet dry and just warmer overall. So always go with wool socks if you can. So camping is part of base camp as well, I guess. We have over here Hatchet. This is an S-wing. Love it. It holds its edge really well, and it's sharp, and it's just super solid. It's a sturdy little hatchet. I've got a folding saw. I'm bringing like 3 or 4 knives, but this is the fixed blade Buck Selkirk 110. Love this thing, works really well. This is what I use to butcher game. It's all you really need. I've got a folding shovel. You guys know what the folding shovel is for, right? When you gotta go in the woods. So, game bags here. I also have this Outdoor Edge butcher kit. So, pop this open real quick and show you guys. But you've got everything in there that you need to butcher an animal, just in case. Now, like I said, usually I'll just use 1 knife, but in this kit they have, you know, the rib cage spreader right there. You've got a saw for the bone. I also have that folding saw, which would work as well for sawing the bone off. But it does have knife sharpener here as well. It's got a skinning blade, gutting blade, and a caping blade. So very nice little kit. Alright, so electronics, pretty straightforward. I have the camera gear here, obviously. GoPro, and then my main camera, which I'm using right there right now. Tripod stuff. I've got 2 external chargers, as well as their charging cords. All of my charging cords for my phones, external chargers, cameras, everything go in these camera equipment bags as well. I have this thing. This is an air compressor, so tire goes flat. I can use this to pump the tire up. I can use this to jump start in case the vehicle goes dead. Lots of battery in here. You can charge a USB on this little guy as well. I just wish that it had a 110 volt outlet, which would be super nice, but this one doesn't. Oh, one last thing also, obviously, a lantern for camp. I also have 2 different headlights, head lanterns, packed up as well. But yeah, I packed it up in this bag as well. I forgot to pull that out earlier when I was showing you guys that bag. But yeah, that's the electronics section there. Pretty straightforward. Alright, now for the hunting gear. This is the Everly Stock Just One pack. I love this pack. And this duffel actually can fit inside here. This is the Everly Stock duffel bag. And it's actually built for this pack. So this pack can actually expand. Right now it's at 2,300 cubic inches. It can expand when I unzip this. It expands. This duffel can go inside here if you need. You can also pack your game meat inside here as well, and it's mesh to keep the meat cool. And when you expand with this zipper, it expands out to 4,600 cubic inches. You can actually expand it to 7,200 cubic inches by unzipping here, expanding to 4,300, but instead of putting the duffel inside, you can actually zip the duffel to the front of these zippers. And the duffel is another 23 or 2,600 cubic inches, so that brings the total up to 7,200 cubic inches. So super nice pack. I love this thing. I'll do a separate review video on this pack later on, probably after this trip, because this is going to be its first trip out. I just bought this thing not too long ago, and this is going to be the trial trip for this pack. So far so good. I'm liking it. It's empty right now. All my hunting stuff is going to go into this pack. Binos, obviously. Rangefinder, always need that. A deer call. Scent away. I know scent control products are a little controversial. Do they work? Do they not work? Who knows? But they're cheap, so why not? You might as well do whatever you can to increase your odds of success, right? So that's why I use that. Seems to work pretty okay. Footwear, I've got 2 pairs of boots. I've got my regular hunting / hiking boots right here. And I'm also going to be bringing my muck boots just in case it is a swampy, wet area where we're going and it's going to be raining in 1 or 2 days while we're out there. So might as well bring some waterproof muck boots out there with me as well. And you can never go to hunt camp without Crocs. So obviously I'm bringing these Crocs. I forgot to mention earlier and pull this out, but in my hunt pack, I also always keep a med kit. So that's just a med kit. Picked it up from Cabela's Bass Pro Shops. It's got a list of everything that it has on there. So it's got everything to stop bleeding. So it's got wound care, it's got instruments, things for cuts and scrapes, a little bit of medication, pain medicine, and trauma kit so to stop bleeding fast. Always carry a med kit whenever you guys are going out to camp, backcountry, hunting, wherever you go. Always important. It's so tiny, but it's 100% worth it to always carry this around with you whenever you guys go out into the woods. Alright, now on to the weapons. So we'll start off with the bow because this is going to be the main thing that we're going to be using. I'm going to be going after white-tailed deer. One of the other guys is going after white-tailed deer as well because we didn't draw for elk. Luckily, one of the other guys can go after elk, so we will be cheering him on and hoping that he gets a nice bull down. And when I'm not going for deer, I'm probably going to be full-time filming Peter on his elk hunt because I can't help with that hunt. I can't even help call for the elk, but I can film. Show you guys what I'm using. It's my quiver. Got a couple broadheads in there. I'm using the QAD Exodus 100 grain fixed blade broadheads. So the bow that I'm using is the PSE Stinger Max. I know I've got a whisker biscuit in there. I gotta really upgrade to a drop away arrow rest. But yeah, pretty nice bow. I like it, just a basic 5-pin sight on her. My draw weight on this guy is right now 65 pounds. Got a nice wrist sling on there. Oh, and I've got the Tacticam action cam right there. So this is the Tacticam stabilizer mount. So it actually takes the place of your stabilizer. So this thing is nice because when I take my shot, all I gotta do is press that on button on the camera right there and get ready to take the shot. As for the bow case that I'm using, it's just a plain old bow case. Picked it up on sale at Cabela's. So I think I picked it up for, I don't know if I remember correctly, it was around 60 bucks or something like that for this thing. So pretty good deal. And like I mentioned, I'm also bringing a 22 with me. Right there, this is the Ruger 1022. Love this gun. This is the ultimate small game hunting gun that I use. I use this for grouse, squirrels, rabbits, and all that all the time. It works super well, super accurate. It's semi-automatic. It's got a 10-round magazine. So I've got, let's see, I've got 10 rounds in the magazine right there, and I've got 50 rounds right there. So I've got 60 rounds of 22 for this guy. Hopefully we get an opportunity to take some grouse or squirrel or rabbit or whatever kind of small game that we can get out there and roast it up for camp over the open fire. That would be nice. Hey, a couple things I forgot to pull out of this pack here and show you guys as well. So I'll do that now. A multi-tool. I always carry a multi-tool with me. This is a 14 multi-tool. It's just a Cabela's, just a little Cabela's multi-tool here, but it gets the job done, and it's got pretty much what you need. Would I prefer a Leatherman? Probably. I'll probably end up getting a Leatherman at some point, but right now it's not the time. And also, we are going to be in bear country, so here in Canada we're not allowed to carry sidearms, handguns. Those are restricted firearms here in Canada, so we can't carry that. I wish we could, but we can't. So bear spray will have to do the trick. So I've got bear spray here with me as well. This will stay with me wherever I go, so I'll have it attached to my hunt pack. We're going to be in the backcountry and bear country, right? So we got to always be prepared. You want to have it easy access at all times when you're out there, and always have it close to you when you're in camp also. But yeah, so if you guys are in the States, if you can carry a handgun with you, do it. I would prefer to carry a handgun with me if we could in bear country, but we just can't, so bear spray will have to do the trick. Anyways, I forgot to pull that out of the bag and show you guys earlier, so there you go. Alright, well, I guess that just about covers it. Went over pretty much everything that I have over here in all the different little sections. So now it's time for me to pack everything in to their designated places, and after that I'll show you guys how everything ended up being packed. So here we go. I've got everything packed up now, except for the camera gear, of course, which is going in here once that's done. And I might even be able to fit this bag in one of the hard totes over here as well. So hunt pack in here, all my hunting essentials. It's still fairly empty, but when we get to base camp, I'll take stuff that I need from any of the other bags, put them in here when we go out for the actual hunt. So I'll be able to carry everything I need in there and to be able to pack meat out as well. This one is the camera gear bag and electronics, chargers, etc. In this duffel we've got the sleeping bag, air mattress, chair, tent, and lantern. And in this tote, I've got the duffel with all of my clothing, jackets, personal effects, as well as the tarp and rope bag, all organized in there as well. And in this tote, we've got the air compressor, shovels, axe, tools, saw. Got the scent away just packed in there as well. And then my 2 pairs of boots, and the game bags and the butcher kit. And in this tote, all the kitchen and food stuff. So all the kitchen and food stuff nicely fits in one tote. The cooler is still empty. Still got to put some ice in there and maybe pack a bottled water, some pop or whatever else. And then of course we've got the Ruger 1022 and the bow right there. So that is everything, all packed up nice and neat. Still got to fill up the 20-liter jug of water, take that with us, and the ground blind is already nicely packed up in its own little thing right there. That's everything, nice and organized. That should have everything that I need. And in case you're like me and you like having an actual checklist of all the items that you're bringing, I'm going to list in the description below everything that I'm bringing. That was my personal checklist that I used. When I laid everything out there, I had that checklist and I made sure that everything was there and I wasn't missing anything. So I'm going to put that checklist in the description below for you guys to see as well. But yeah, I think that just about covers everything that I'm packing on this 4-day elk and whitetail hunting trip. And yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for the video of that. So we're gonna have a bunch more hunting videos coming up soon now that it's hunting season. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and maybe some of you guys are looking to do your first hunting trip as well, and looking at what you should pack or what you should bring with you when you go on your trip. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, hit that like button. Really appreciate that, and it really helps our channel out a lot. leave a comment down below. As well, let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you would or would not bring on a hunting trip. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.